Hello everyone, welcome to Chasing the Murderer Talking News. Before we get started, take a moment to subscribe and like. Hit the notification bell if you'd like notifications whenever we have new uploads. So as you know, I have been so overtaken by the Lori Vallow case because that is one of the most massive cases. But also, we are having so many new cases involving children, missing children. And it's hard to tell a story when there's not very much information out there. So here's one story that's an example of this. And I want to compare it to another story that we've heard about, and that is the Baby Dior story. So this story too is coming out of Idaho, the Fruitland area. The boy's name is Michael Vaughn. He goes by Monkey. He has blue eyes. He's about 3'7". He is wearing a blue t-shirt with Minecraft icons and dark blue briefs this day. Monkey is only 5 years old, and we're assuming or guessing that he was outside playing because around 6:30 p.m. on July 27th of 2021, he is last seen at Southwest 9th Street and South Arizona Avenue. And days later, we see on the media the Fruitland Police Department pleading for the entire area to help find this child. The thing is the Fruitland Police Department, they are not giving up much new information. And they eagerly push people away from social media stories, such as Facebook pages and that kind of thing, because they're worried about the wrong information getting out there. So let's go over what we know. So we know that Michael goes missing around 6:30 p.m. that evening, and that around 7:20 the neighbors are finding out about this child missing, and by 8:20 there's a child alert out for Michael Monkey Vaughn. According to Sheriff Huff, he said that text messages and email alerts go out until 11:20 that night. So something else that is very interesting is the fact that investigators notified the NCIC, which is the National Crime Information Center, and they're sending out information attached to this little boy, 5 years old, who is missing. So we've gone days later. It's July 31st, 2021, and police are setting up a press conference with the media. The press conference is at Fruitland City Hall. It's on a Saturday afternoon, and Police Chief J.D. Huff asked the public for them to continue helping in a search for Michael. Huff actually starts sharing information, how they are searching nearby water sources, these kind of places of concern, places like Snake River, and tells the public that they have come up empty-handed, but they plan to continue searching. During this press conference, you can see Michael and his family, Michael's family, standing alongside with Mr. Huff. Though the parents are present, we see that they're kind of silent. But we are noticing that the investigators are pushing that this case is to be very tight-lipped and putting a halt on speculation and rumor by lack of information shared with the public and media. In this video, you can see the parents' frustration standing there beside Huff while he addresses the media at the podium. And as Huff speaks about the crisis involving their son, it's as if they're not even there. The parents aren't able to speak up for their own child, and this is evidently painful because tears swell in their eyes as Huff mentioned the boy's nickname, Monkey. And they attach it to the fact that he's still missing. So you can see a lot of pain in the parents' eyes and faces. I want to take a second to play a clip.
We also want to emphasize that Michael's family continues to be 100% cooperative with our investigation, and we're asking you to be extremely respectful of their privacy during this situation. and we would appreciate that. Super difficult time, as you would know. So Michael was last seen wearing a light blue Minecraft t-shirt. Over here on my left, dark blue boxer briefs, a child size 11 sandal, and he stands 3 foot 7 inches tall. He's 50 pounds. He's got blonde hair, blue eyes, and he answers to the nickname Monkey. If you see Michael, have any information that would lead us to his whereabouts or his location, please call the Fayette County Sheriff's Office at 208-642-6006, extension 0. So we just want to extend our appreciation to our community. We thank you for your continued support and the media, and where we certainly appreciate the public's wanting to help us. We've evaluated that several times, and it can become a little problematic for us. So what we're asking the public to do at this point is to search their residences and their homes. You never know. We got a 5-year-old kid out there. He can wander in and out of places super easy, into people's backyards. Any place that he could be on a larger piece of property, that's what we're asking the public to do. We have trained professional search teams with search canines that are certified, and we're in these areas that we have been for the last 3 days now. So we're asking for the public to stay out of those areas and let us search those with these certified search teams. They're professionals. They know what they're looking for. A lot of times when we recruit civilian help, they miss things. And so where we have such an intense and such an important goal to accomplish, we don't want to miss a thing. I'm not going to opine or weigh in on the ongoing investigation into this thing. I just can't do it. So I appreciate that. Our focus and our main focus is finding MJ and bringing him back to his family, and that's where we're at right now. Search and rescue operations, and we're going to continue doing that. So thank you.
You mentioned we've had at least 10 separate canine teams from 3 different organizations that span from coast to coast.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can you touch on more about what these outside agencies are able to bring to the States?
Oh my gosh, thank you for the question. These outside agencies bring everything to the case that I can't. Manpower, resources, equipment, everything. The city of Fruitland, we're a small city. We've got 12 officers out here beating the street every day. So bringing these experienced, qualified people into these investigations for us it's just completely incredible, and it's huge for us. The City of Fruitland Police Department we can continue to support our community and handle those calls for service that we need to, while adding support to this team here as we continue this investigation. It's incredible. So.
Has any additional equipment been brought in?
We do have drones that have been brought in from the Meridian Police Department. We have an Idaho State Police drone, as well as a Fayette County drone and a Sand Hollow Fire drone, all of which are pretty sophisticated, and they have FLIR capabilities, and we are continuing to use those as we search.
So you can hear Huff speak about the FLIR capabilities of some of the technology and the drones and helicopters. But looking at this picture, you can see here this guy's legs exposed. He's having he took pictures of this FLIR capability, and you can see it's not 100% reliable. So my concerns are, as they start relying more and more on technology, what will they overlook? If you're interested in seeing more on this FLIR ability, you can go check out this Billy and Kyle channel on YouTube. He has a quite informative video where he does some comparisons. So like I said, my concerns is what happens when you lose body heat. You can look at his legs there and see that the boy's in shorts. He's in a t-shirt. So on a cool night, there's going to be a lot of energy released. It's going to be hard to pick up on any kind of heat signal. Let's think about it. He's not only, in shorts and a t-shirt. He's a tiny individual. Puts off a little bitty heat. I just hope they don't depend 100% on the technology. So we've gone into weeks at this point. The boy's been missing for weeks. And in that video clip with the parents, I just noticed that in their face it was easy to read. The fear screamed louder than any other emotion displayed during that conference. This is definitely a parent's worst nightmare, to have a missing child and see days pass without a glimpse of hope. Chief Huff said that he grew up in this same area that Michael continues to be missing, and that this case is actually hit close to home with him. This obviously sounds like this is something they're not used to dealing with. Well, you can see here, Michael lives in a residential area, but straight across is this humongous open field. They also have concerns of irrigation runoff ditches, so the Fruitland Public Works Department is draining 2 of those runoff ditches to assist the investigators and using their canine units and the aerial drones. So they're surveying the area. So Chief Huff says that the Idaho Fish and Game officers are continuing to search the river by boat at this time. And they're searching 4 and 5 miles at a time. So investigators are organizing more searches with rescue operations, with resources from surrounding areas, because Fruitland is a very small town. They don't have many resources, so they have things like the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue Team, the Fruitland Fire Department, the National Center of Missing Children, all coming together to help the police department and investigators search for the missing 5-year-old. Now, at one point, they did call on the public to help search, but the help limited. So investigators, they asked them to search their own property and search it multiple times if need be, because they say that 5-year-olds are so crafty and finding hiding spots. Huff says to, search things like outbuildings, vehicles, anything a 5-year-old can get into. We also ask you to review any security footage you may have, he says. According to Chief Huff, he says that they had searched 200 homes of local residents since Monkey went missing. So right now, when he says this is August 4th, 2021. And so he also mentions the fact that they have drained canals. They have looked in garbage cans, doing everything they can to find this 5-year-old boy. They believe there's a possibility that he could have gotten himself into a bad situation. They also pump a few sewer areas, and they gather up to 60 videos from nearby residents. In just one day, they have received 162 tips in order to, look at. And according to local officials, they say they have put in around 2,500 man-hours already just looking for Monkey. So, according to the chief, those 25 hours exclude EMS, volunteers, search and rescue crews. Some residents have been out there until 3 a.m. in the morning searching for this 5-year-old. So Fruitland has had record number outside departments aiding and finding this little boy. So that's really interesting, and I think it's wonderful that they have that much help. This kind of crisis, there's, it's just never enough help. There really isn't. It's a very devastating situation. Now, I think they believe that they're sending out a message, at least, that they're searching for a boy that might have got into waterways, gotten himself in a bad situation, got stuck somewhere. But we can't overlook the possibility that there's a abduction, possible foul play, but investigators are not feeding the public anything of what they're looking at. But one thing they did say is they haven't really thrown out any idea as of now. Every possibility is on the table. They also say that the parents of Monkey are quite cooperative, so that doesn't sound like there's any issues or concerns between the investigation and the family. So, according to police, they say that they will have press briefings occasionally, and they will be held when necessary to help with the search. And so they plan to schedule a few more. We just don't know when. So how did the police picture Michael as a child? Well, they picture him as an active and inquisitive child, and police have not ruled out that he might have wandered off. No, have actually, says that he's keeping Michael's family and his prayers, and mentions again that the family is being very, very cooperative. There really isn't a lot of information on this story, but it's a sad story, and it's like Baby Dior. So Baby Dior's story is also, it comes out of Idaho, and in which this incident happened about 45 minutes away, as far as I can tell right now, because I've done quick research on this, from when Baby Dior went missing July 10th of 2015 at the Timberlake campground with his family. This was in the middle of nowhere, and this family has been accused, and it's speculated that they might have had something to do with the disappearance of Baby Dior, as well as there's a few questions about, there was 4 people there that day. There were Baby Dior's parents, which we'll go into details on another video, and the grandfather and the grandfather's friend Isaac. I mean, they were in the middle of nowhere, like 7 miles from the nearest store, and they still haven't found any answers for Baby Dior. I've been researching this story, plan to do something on it for you guys. It's just been tough. Remember, I research, I write, I make the videos, I edit the videos, and I live a life. It's very difficult to do by yourself, because these aren't just documentaries that you can throw together on your spare time. These are breaking news stories, so it takes there's a lot of work in it. So, but I wanted to kind of point that out. So you have Baby Dior, 2015, missing without a trace, no clues whatsoever of where that child went. And then you have Monkey, also in Idaho, approximately 45 minutes to an hour away from this area. Guys, could these be somehow linked or coincidence? I think when investigating, there's nothing out. I mean, you just don't throw anything out. Everything's open. But there's so many sad children stories between parents hurting their own children, abusing their own children, to abductions, to just plain out kidnappings and murder. And there's so many I can't even keep up. But I'm going to try to cover some of those stories soon, I hope. Guys, just bear with me. So there's a lot going on with the Lori Vallow case right now. So I want to introduce some new faces here. So here's some missing children. Let's not forget about Dulce. She too was at a park in New Jersey, semi-supervised by her mother, who was sitting in a car, just disappeared without a trace in the public. Baby Dior, campgrounds, open area, disappeared without a trace. Now we have Monkey, and then there's a few other, we have Aisha as well. Aisha, she says she's going to run away from home. She goes out the window, vanishes. But she did have one trace, and it was her book bag that showed up at a construction site. Jasmine Robinson went to bed one night, vanished without a trace. Just too many of these stories. I'm going to have to close out for right now, guys. I want to send my love out to these families first and foremost. I hope that these guys are able to get answers some closure and especially justice. Also want to send my thanks, my hugs out to you guys, because I wouldn't be doing as well with this channel as we're doing without you guys. The kids, the families, I'm sure appreciate you guys sharing these videos and watching them. I just have a whole lot of stuff going on at once right now, trying to get back. Eventually we'll get there. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys soon.